Good morning.
Good morning.
There is singing of Christmas songs.
There is not.
No? I'm imagining it.
I don't know. Plausible deniability.
It's Friday!
It is Friday.
Yay! We made it. How was your workout?
Workout was good. It was chest, shoulders, tries, and some calves.
Okay.
Okay.
How was the gym?
Very, very dead.
Really?
Yes. I mean, even when I left, there was probably 5 people back in the weight room.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so. Yeah.
So today was a cardio day for me. So I stayed home and I did cardio on the AMT because that way I can do a half hour and be done and go on and do other things. And I finished the first draft of the first chapter of the book. So I'm very excited about that. That's one of the challenges I have. I'm most motivated to do things in the morning, which is why we go to the gym in the mornings, because that's when we're motivated. Mm-hmm. But I definitely find that if I do my cardio here and then sit down and work on the book, I get more done in the hour and a half that I have in the morning than I do if I try to make myself do it at 11 o'clock. So very excited, sent that off to our coach. Hopefully he'll take a read and let us know what he thinks of the direction that it's going in. So very excited about that.
Very excited.
What are you having for breakfast?
Oatmeal.
You guys tired of looking at his oatmeal? It has the hemp seeds on the top today.
That's going to be the main picture, of course.
It always does. Facebook chooses where he shows his oatmeal as one
Still
of
have to put some flaxseed in it.
Yeah, it needs flaxseed, but then it's done. Yeah, so very excited about that. Day after fasting day. Always happy to eat our oatmeal on the day after fasting day.
Yes, always happy to eat anything on the day after fasting day.
It's true. It's true. But it's the weekend review, so that's what we do on Fridays. So we'll just run through that quickly for you. On Monday, we talked about iron and how it's a double-edged sword. You absolutely need it. Your body needs iron, but if you get too much iron, that can be a problem. Now, if you're a menstruating female, you probably will not have a problem with iron because you lose it regularly. However, men can end up with too much iron. Heme iron, H-E-M-E, which is the kind of iron that you find in red meat, it's the kind of iron that you have in your body, is harder for your body to regulate. So what happens with your body is the way that it does iron is that when it needs it, it absorbs more, and when it has enough, it absorbs less. However, heme iron is harder to regulate. Non-heme iron, which is the plant-based iron, is easier to regulate. It's a little harder for your body to bring into the system, and so it's easier to regulate. So you can absolutely get plenty of iron eating plant-based. You can eat green and leafy things and beans and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, nuts, everything, all kinds of stuff has iron in it. If you're concerned that your body is not absorbing enough iron, there are 2 things that you can do when you're eating plant-based iron. One is that you can add vitamin C to it. So squeeze a little bit of lime juice. Eat an orange with your salad. We did that yesterday. We added a clementine to our salad, our meal yesterday for fasting. So add some vitamin C and whatever that looks like. Obviously, I would recommend you eat a plant-based vitamin C.
Yes,
Don't take a supplement. Eat it as a plant, and your citrus are going to be really good. Also, peppers have vitamin C in them, so you can do that. The other thing that you can do to make sure that your non-heme iron is bioavailable is don't drink tea with your meals. Drinking tea blocks your body's ability to absorb non-heme iron. So those are 2 things you can do to make sure that you're getting enough iron. We also talked on Tuesday about eating for energy, and we talked about how carbohydrates, whole food carbohydrates, starch is your main source of energy, and that Russ shared that since we've been eating this way, he has way more energy
it's ridiculous.
than he had previously.
It should be a crime.
I'm glad it's not.
I'm glad it's not too.
And that your body runs on that fuel, and that's what really is helpful for you. So if you want to know more about eating for energy and eating to work out, and that you're not going to have a problem with working out at whatever level you want to work out eating plant-based. You're going to get plenty of energy.
And of course, we're talking when you're young, you have energy just because it's dumb energy. You just wake up with energy. But I'm 57 years old, and I work out hard, she'll tell you, every day with free weights.
People in the gym think he's crazy.
Yeah, one guy that works there said to me, I walk in and he goes, the lion has entered the den, So, and the energy I have, prior to changing over to this lifestyle, I was dragging. I'd go into the gym and I felt like there was a lead brick in my head, and it was just hard for me to get going. Now I walk in and I go, okay, what's left? What's gone?
And we're sleeping better too.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
We feel full, we're not feeling deprived, we have plenty of energy, we're sleeping better. The reality is your body wants to be healthy. All you have to do is give it the fuel to be able to do that, and it'll happily take care of it.
And if you look at our we both recently got blood work done. If you look at that, it's like the teacher puts stars. Little stars every place on our reports.
We're healthy humans. humans.
Yes.
So we talked about that on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we talked about treating and cheating on this lifestyle.
I was just going to do that.
Turn my water off here a second. And I talked specifically, I kind of stepped into my psychology role, and I talked about making sure that if you're going to decide to, eat something, treat yourself with something, make sure you're doing it as a conscious decision.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it just because it happens to be at the table or you're at a party where it happens to be. Make the conscious choice that you are going to have a treat, and then enjoy it as a treat and pay attention to the pleasure that you get from it.
And when it becomes no longer pleasurable, because that'll happen, right? I mean, you get that initial euphoria by eating it, and then the more you eat, the less you're getting that euphoria. So you want to, if you can pay attention to that, you can say, okay, 1, 2, 3, however many bites in that is, and you can say, I had enough.
Yeah.
And so instead of eating the big, huge piece, like as Robin mentioned on Wednesday, is that you go to a restaurant, you get a dessert. I mean, my God, it's bigger than the meal they gave you. It's these desserts they give you
Calorie
are
bomb.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you really, you tell yourself you're enjoying the whole thing, but if you really paid attention to it, you'd figure out that you get that first initial taste, and that's as high as you're going to get as far as euphoria goes, and it becomes less so with each bite after that.
And that's because you get a dopamine rush. When you eat something that's really sweet, really fatty.
Good morning, Carol.
Hey, Carol, it's good to see you. You get a dopamine rush. And that dopamine rush is the first initial surge. And that first surge is the most you're going to get. From that, it kind of declines. It's just like a drug rush, same idea. It declines over time. So pay attention. Enjoy that first bite. Really enjoy the pleasure of it. And, maybe you do 3, 4 bites. Maybe you say 5 minutes, whatever it works for you. But if you're going to decide to have a treat, make sure you're really treating yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't unconsciously eat junk food. I think that's one of the biggest things that happens in the American standard diet is people unconsciously eat so much junk. And we've talked about eating consciously before. I think it absolutely applies to treating yourself. Make sure that you do it. I shared an example where I decided that I was going to have a little Lindor's chocolate. Mm-hmm. It's not plant-based, has dairy in it, but I really like it, and I decided that one was not going to be a big deal. And I took it and I went and I did everything I needed to do. I put it in my bag, and then I went and sat in the car, and I had it just by itself. Now, unfortunately, I was disappointed because it was supposed to be caramel.
You were
I was misled. It wasn't caramel, so it was completely wasted calories. I didn't get the pleasure out of it that I wanted to, but I did do everything correctly to have been able to have enjoyed it had it actually been the caramel that the woman said that it was.
And that woman is now marked, just to let you know. She is on probation, or whatever you want to call it. Double secret probation.
So that was disappointing for me. But yeah, enjoy your treats consciously. That's the advice I have for that. Mm-hmm. And then yesterday we spent 20 minutes talking to you about beans, which I get they're not a super sexy topic, but
I think they are. I said that yesterday too.
And that's what Laura said. Laura told us yesterday.
Yes.
Beans are really sexy.
Yes, absolutely.
But beans are absolutely phenomenal for you. They're a great food. They are loaded with nutrients. They're loaded with fiber. They'll make you feel full. They have a low glycemic index. They have a low glycemic index when you eat them, and they will blunt your glycemic index spike for the next meal after you eat them because they feed your good gut bacteria.
They're prebiotics.
They're prebiotics.
Yeah.
You absolutely, even if you're not moving to plant-based, even if you've decided that we're quacks and we don't know what we're talking about, eat beans. They're good for you. I talked about how a lot of people complain that beans cause GI distress and cause gas. And that issue is because you don't have the gut bacteria to process them, because the gut bacteria to process animal products is squishing out the gut bacteria to process plant-based. So if you eat plant-based more regularly, your gut bacteria is going to get better, and that's going to get better for you, and you won't have those issues.
That's right.
So those are the 4 things we talked about this week. Did you have anything you wanted to add on those fronts?
No, I think we said all there is to say. If you want more detail on any of those, make sure you go back and watch this week's episode.
The individual days, because we definitely gave a lot of detail on those subjects throughout the day.
Right.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and if you decide that you'd like to be able to see these, and you don't watch them live, and you have to come back and watch them, I've decided today.
I'm learning this first hand. Okay.
That I'm going to start putting these on our website. But I'm going to edit them down.
Okay.
From I'll take off the beginning, and I'll edit them down so it's just the material. So for people that are members, we'll be able to just get the actual information.
Put them on the community page under the different sections? or
No,
what
I'm
do you
going to put them on our videos page.
Yeah, okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a search function in there so that you can actually search subjects.
Well, there you go.
So there you go. You're hearing it first now.
I just heard it, so
Right.
it's all good. I was going to say this at the beginning and I forgot. Please make sure that you like and share if you're getting value out of these. We don't do these for our health, we do them for yours and for everyone else's to be able to share our knowledge. So please make sure that you're liking and sharing and letting Facebook know, hey, this is good information. Please make sure you show it to other people.
Correct.
The website that Russ mentioned is rnrjourney.com, which is the hashtag that I have up there at the top. You can go there and become a member, get access to more exclusive content.
And do it for your health. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
I mean, we're setting all this stuff up to help people get healthier. That's our goal. That's our huge ambition in life, is to change the way Americans eat.
Yes, we have big goals
Yes.
to try and help people that want to be helped, not people who don't want to be helped.
Right. You
People
know-
who don't want to be helped are not who are trying to help.
You know, well,
Don't go on that soapbox.
I'm not gonna go on that
It's
soapbox.
okay. It's okay. But that's at rnrjourney.com. You can also sign up to get our newsletter where I send out newsletters once a week on Wednesdays. And this week I sent out one about nuts and how nuts are really good for you. So I highly recommend, if you didn't get a chance to read it, that you do read the article I wrote about nuts. It's on the article for under articles. So sign up for our newsletter. You're welcome.
yes, yes. And by the way, the newsletter is absolutely free. You just got to go to our website and sign up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have signed up for our newsletter and you're not receiving it, please let us know, because we are in the midst of making some adjustments to make sure that the emails are getting through.
Make sure they're not being marked as
Right.
spam. So
And-
yeah, let us know if you're not
And also
getting
keep
it.
in mind, you can also cancel at any time for the newsletter.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
You're not, yes, no obligation.
You're not stuck with us if you don't find them useful. We also have a webinar out there called How to Feed a Human. That's the other hashtag I have up there, howtofeedahuman.com. You can go there and I have some foundational information about what to eat, when to eat, and why you eat. And a lot of people have given us feedback that it's been really useful, and that will also, I can talk today, that'll also give you access to our masterclass, the How to Feed a Human masterclass, where we have taken all of the foundational information that you need to really understand how to feed a person correctly. Feed yourself, feed a human correctly is in the masterclass. So you get all that foundational knowledge so that you can jump right into it.
Right, and the goal there is, of course, to get you away from making unconscious decisions about how you eat and start making conscious decisions, because that's the only real path that's going to lead you to a better lifestyle.
I mean, so many of you, and I know because I hear from you, so many of you know what you should do, but you're not doing it. And that's where the psychology of eating and kind of understanding that part of human behavior, I think, is really helpful for people.
Right,
Because
and
you know what you should do. Us telling you to eat vegetables is not news.
No, but again, and also the other information you get in there that tells you about food, how it's processed, what, how it's affecting your body. Knowing that information, it's not meant to scare anybody. It's meant just to have information. We do not tell you, and that's why you should. It's not about that. This is the information. So when you decide to eat something, it triggers in your mind.
You make a choice rather
now
than
I
an
have to make a
unconscious
conscious choice,
decision.
and that's
Yeah.
what food should be about. It should be a conscious choice, not an unconscious choice.
Yep. Anything else you want to say to that?
I could keep going on.
We could go on and on and on. Maybe we should do a whole live about that.
That might be
stuff.
one of our lives. Yes. Yes.
So, all right, well, I think we're going to go eat breakfast. The day after fasting day, breakfast is always very exciting. So,
Right.
I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Yes, please do. And with that, as always, we will say, eat real food,
Mostly plants.
Have a great day, guys.
Have a good one. We'll see you on Monday.